Hello, hello, can you hear me? Hello, 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 can you hear me? Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry, I was late today, Deepthi. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿ ಟು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸಾರಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಲೇಟ್ ಟುಡೇ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. ಇಷ್ಟ ದೇವತೆಗೆ ಗುರು ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ಇಂದಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಏಕಾಗ್ರ ಚಿತ್ತದಿಂದ ಶಾಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಗಿಸುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲು, ಕಲಿತ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕದಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲು, ಜ್ಞಾಪಕದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರೆಯುವ ಬುದ್ಧಿಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲು ಇಷ್ಟ ದೇವತೆಗೆ ಗುರು ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ ಕುಲದೇವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ. ಟೇಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಡೀಪ್ ಬ್ರೆತ್ಸ್. Yes, good morning, my dear students. Sorry, I was late today by 50 minutes. Will take some 30 to 40 minutes. Continue with the next property of inverse trigonometric function. We'll see few more properties. ITF, inverse trigonometric function, chapter 2, inverse trigonometric function. In short, we call it as ITF. Try this one. Property set number 4. Prove that sin inverse 2x root of 1 minus x square is equal to 2 sin inverse x. That is minus 1 by root 2 is less than x. X is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to 1 by root 2. One result. Similarly, you can prove that sin inverse 2x root of 1 minus x square is can also be written as 2 cos inverse x. 2 cos inverse x. That is 1 by root 2 is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to 1. Let us try to prove this set. Okay. You assume that x is equal to sin theta. The proof. Let x is equal to sin theta. Clear? Where theta lies between minus pi by 2 to, or value will be minus 1 is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to plus 1, and minus theta will be minus pi by 2 is less than or equal to theta. Theta is less than or equal to pi by 2. Suppose that these restrictions hold good, then you can write that. Good morning. Sorry, I am late today. Voice is clear, you can listen to me, very good. Okay. Okay. When these conditions are satisfied, you can take that theta is equal to sine inverse x, provided these conditions hold good. Okay. Now you know that the formula is sine 2 theta is equal to, what is sine 2 theta is equal to? Do you know the formula of sine 2 theta? If you take, or you can even take the LHS of it. So LHS is sine inverse 2x root of 1 minus x square. Put x is equal to sine theta. What do you get? Sine inverse 2 times sine theta into root of 1 minus sine square theta. Are you getting me? That is, you can write this one as sine inverse 2 sine theta. 2 sine theta. What is root of 1 minus sine square theta? The identity in the trigonometry. Because you know that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. In my trigonometric classes, I told you that this is cos theta. What is 2 sine theta into cos theta? 2 sine theta into cos theta becomes sine inverse of sine 2 theta. Are you getting me? What is sine inverse of sine 2 theta is 2 theta? Are you getting me? But what is your assumption of theta? Theta is equal to sine inverse x. This is equal to 2 times sine inverse x. Okay. But what is sine inverse x? 2 times sine inverse x. Thus you can prove that is sine inverse of sine 2 theta is equal to 2 theta. That is 2 sine inverse x. If you substitute, theta is equal to sine inverse x. Or even you can do like this also. This is one method. Another method is we have sine 2 theta is equal to sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta into cos theta. So that if you put, already you have taken x is equal to sine theta. This is method 1. One method as printed in your textbook. We have sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta into cos theta, and you can write that sine 2 theta is equal to, right, and will be equal to 2 times sine theta. You can write cos theta as root of 1 minus sine square theta. Another method, method 2. Now you have sine 2 theta is equal to 2x root of 1 minus x square. Now to get inverse of this, you have 2 theta. Now what is the restriction given to you? Restriction for theta is, what is the restriction for sine theta? Where theta lies between minus pi by 2 is less than or equal to theta, and theta is less than or equal to pi by 2. To get inverse of it, to get 2 theta, you must get the value as minus pi is less than or equal to theta, theta is less than or equal to pi. Are you getting me? So this particular sine inverse exists between what? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Right? And the restriction when x is equal lies between minus 1 by root 2 to plus 1 by root 2. Right? So if for 2 theta, the inverse of this exists, look at here. For inverse of this exists 2 theta exists if it is between minus 1 by 2 is less than or equal to 2 theta. 2 theta is less than or equal to pi by 2. If you divide, or the value will be, if you divide throughout by 2, what do you get here? Minus pi by 4 is less than or equal to theta. Theta will be less than or equal to pi by 4. Right? Are you getting me? And you can write it as, if you divide it by theta, then the value becomes minus 1 by root 2 is less than or equal to this x is less than or equal to plus 1 by root 2, because sine 45 degrees 1 by root 2, sine 45 degrees 1 by root 2. Then you can write the inverse of it as 2 theta is equal to sine inverse 2x root of 1 minus x square. Now you can write theta. When theta lies between minus 1 by root 2 to plus 1 by root 2, then the theta can be written as 2 times sine inverse x. There you can get sine inverse 2x root of 1 minus x square. Even the restrictions can also be considered, right? And you can get the answer as 2 sine inverse x is equal to sine inverse 2x root of 1 minus x square. Are you getting me? Similarly, how can you get this one as cos inverse x? Okay, second proof of it, cos inverse x. This time you take x is equal to cos theta. Let me take second proof of it. You have to prove that 2 cos inverse x. You can prove it by taking x is equal to cos theta. Second result is, put x is equal to cos theta. Let us assume that x is equal to cos theta. Provided where the theta lies, provided 0 is less than or equal to theta, theta is less than or equal to pi. Because cos theta, principal value of cos theta lies between what? Theta and pi. You can take now, the value will be 0 to pi, and the value will be minus 1 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1. Okay. Now, provided these conditions satisfy, you can take theta as a cos inverse x. Theta is cos inverse x. Let me again take same. What is sine 2 theta is? Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta into cos theta. Okay, let me take a sine 2 theta is equal to 2. If cos theta is x, then sine theta can be written as root of 1 minus x, 1 minus cos square theta into cos theta. Now substitute the value of cos theta is equal to x. You get a sine 2 theta is equal to 2 times root of 1 minus x square into x. Now we have to write inverse of 2 theta. Are you getting me? So when theta is equal to cos inverse x, theta is equal to cos inverse x, and it should be positive. It will lie between, the angle will lie between you have the value as 0 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1 for what? Theta. You get for 2 theta. To get for 2 theta, then a theta will lie between 0 to x, You can write 2 theta. You can prove directly. That is 2 theta is equal to sine inverse. This x will be outside. 2x root of 1 minus x square. 2 theta. So whenever you get a 2 theta here, in this case, for the existence of 2 theta, what do you get here? 0 is less than or equal to theta. It will be positive up to pi by 2, 0 to pi by 2. The value will be cos 90 will be, the value will be 0. For cos inverse x, I think the restriction is 1 by root 2 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1. You can take from 0 to pi by 2. Say even pi by 2 because cos less than pi by 2, first quadrant. For theta, when you take 2 theta is less than or equal to pi by 2. Now to divide by 2, now you will get 0 is less than or equal to theta, theta is less than or equal to pi by 4. When a theta lies between 0 and pi by 4, then the value will lie between what? 0 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1 by root 2. Therefore, they have given the value is cos 0 is 1, 1 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1 by root 2. It lies between 1 by root 2 and 1. The lowest value will be 1 by root 2 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1. Then inverse sine function exists, right? What is theta now? Theta you can write as cos inverse x. You will get 2 cos inverse x is equal to sine inverse 2x root of 1 minus x square. 2x root of 1 minus x square. That is the problem on a 2 sine inverse 2x. Another result. Okay. You take the next one. The result is like this, set number 5. You remember this identity. That is 3 sine inverse x is equal to. Next result is 3 sine inverse x is equal to. Sine inverse 3x minus 4x cube, x belongs to minus 1 by 2, sorry, closed interval, minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2. When x lies between minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2, right? To prove this result, let us assume that, and even you can take another in the same set, 3 cos inverse x is equal to, one by one we will prove, we will get cos inverse 4x cube minus 3x, provided x belongs to the interval 1 by 2 to 1. 1 by 2 to 1. Look at here. How can you prove this? This time you are using sin 3 theta formula. Sin 3 theta formula. Solution. Let sin inverse x is equal to theta, we will assume, right? Sin inverse x is equal to theta, and inverse exists. The value of x lies between what? Minus 1 by 2 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1 by root 2, sorry, 1 by 2. You will get what? You will get here minus 1 by 2 is less than or equal to x, x is less than or equal to 1 by 2. For what angle of the sine you get this one? Minus pi by 6 is less than or equal to x, theta. Theta should be less than or equal to pi by 6, provided these conditions. So this is in the limit of minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Because what is the limit for this? Okay, that implies x becomes equal to what? Sine theta. Okay. Now you recall that we have, what is the identity you have now? You have sine 3 theta formula. Can anyone of you tell me what is sine 3 theta? Sine 3 theta. Sine 3 theta formula is 3 sine theta. What is minus 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta? Do you agree with me? 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. Now you get sine 3 theta is equal to, what is the value of x? X is sine theta. X is sine theta. You will get it as 3x minus 4x cube. Now to get the inverse of 3 theta, now our given restriction is minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2 for the domain, and the range will be minus pi by 6 to theta. Theta is less than or equal to pi by 6. Multiply this one by, suppose that I want to get 3 theta now, multiply this by 3. Theta by 3. There what you get? 3 into minus pi by 6 is less than or equal to 3 theta. 3 theta is less than or equal to 3 times pi by 6. Observe, 3 ones are 3 twos are. 3 ones are 3 twos are. You will get now minus pi by 2 is less than or equal to 3 theta. 3 theta is less than or equal to pi by 2. What is the restriction for existence of sine inverse? It should lie between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Even for 3 theta, it lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Therefore, inverse exists by definition of sine inverse. You can write it as 3 theta is equal to sine inverse 3x minus 4x cube. Then what is theta? Theta, our assumption is sine inverse x. Therefore, you get 3 sine inverse x is equal to sine inverse 3x minus 4x cube. I will repeat it. You try to understand. Hence proved. Now, how we proved it? They have given that condition 3 sine inverse x is equal to sine inverse 3x minus 4x cube, provided x lies between minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2. Observe, if the domain lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, for what angle of the sine you get 1 by 2 is 30 degree. 30 degree means minus pi by 6 is less than or equal to theta. Theta is less than or equal to pi by 6. I hope you are getting me. Let us use the formula sine 3 theta. What is sine 3 theta? You proved in the multiple angles. 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. Wherever sine theta is there, you put now. Now check. We have to check whether sine 3 theta lies in the limit of the range. What is the range for sine inverse? Sine inverse is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Multiply this whole equation by 3. If you multiply whole equation by 3, this by 3, you get 3 into minus pi by 6, 3 into pi by 6. Now you get minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Now it is in the range of the sine function. Therefore, inverse sine function of 3 theta exists. Then you write 3 theta is equal to sine inverse 3x minus 4x cube. Now put back what is theta. Theta is equal to sine inverse x, and you will get the result. I hope you understood, my dear students. Even the previous one also, I will prove this first. Any doubts in this? Clarify the doubts. All of you understood this one? Please comment, or in the comment box you can ask me doubts. I am watching your comments. All of you understood this idea? How to prove this? So that it appears for 2 marks or 3 marks in the exam. These are the two problems given in the NCERT text. I am solving some NCERT results. Okay. Now let us take the second result. To prove the second result, let us put x is equal to cos theta. What is the restriction for x they have given? 1 by 2 is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to 1. For what angle of the, this is the domain. What will be range for this? For what angle of the cos? Cos we get 1 by 2. Is it not pi by 6? Sorry, pi by 3. Pi by 3 means what? Pi by 3 means what? You are getting the value 60 degree. And for what angle of the cos you get 0? Sorry, 1, cos 0. Therefore, I can write the restriction as 0 is less than or equal to x, sorry, theta, because cos 0 is 1. And for what angle of the cos? 30 degree or 60 degree? Cos 60 degree. Cos 60 degree means pi by 3. I hope you are getting me. When you put x is equal to cos theta, you recall what is the formula for cos 3 theta. For cos 3 theta is 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. 3 cos theta. 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. But what is cos theta is x. You put it 4x cube minus 3x. Now, you have to write inverse of 3 theta. Now we have to check whether this restriction is there for theta. For 3 theta, you have to multiply whole equation by 3. Multiply by 3. If you multiply by 3, 3 into 0 is 0. Less than or equal to theta. Theta is less than or equal to 3 into pi by 3. 3 cancels. Now the restriction of theta comes between what? 0 to pi. Is it not the range of the cos inverse function? Therefore, cos inverse function exists. 3 theta, sorry, you have to multiply here by 3 theta. 3 theta. Means 0 is less than or equal to 3 theta. Multiply whole by 3. 3 into 0 is 0. 3 into theta is 3 theta. 3 into pi by 3 is pi. This you have to show. Very important. Means inverse cos exists only if the range lies between 0 to pi. Now you got 0 to pi. Now by definition of inverse cos function, by definition of cos inverse, you can write it as 3 theta is equal to cos inverse, yes, 4x cube minus 3x. And what is theta is? Theta is cos inverse x. You can write it as 3 cos inverse x is equal to cos inverse, yes, cos inverse 4x cube minus 3x. I hope you understood this. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? You can clarify. You can clarify the doubts. I hope you understood. This you have to show. In textbook also not clearly shown. I will repeat it. They are given the range, the domain is 1 by 2 to 1. Means put x is equal to cos theta in this, and the restriction given is 1 by 2 is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to 1. This is the closed interval. When the interval is that domain is x, then the range theta will lie between 0 to pi by 3, because cos 0 is 1. Cos pi by 3 means cos 60 is 1 by 2. It lies between 0 to pi by 3. Now we will use the formula of cos 3 theta. 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. Are you getting me? Then cos 3 theta is equal to 4x cube minus 3x. Then we have to write the inverse of 3 theta. To get inverse of 3 theta, range should lie between 0 to pi. This particular given I will multiply throughout by 3. What you get? 3 into 0 is 0. 3 into theta is 3 theta. 3 into pi by 3 is pi cancels. It comes between 0 to pi. Means cos inverse is a restriction for the cos inverse is 0 to pi. Now you got it. Now you can write the definition of inverse. Otherwise you cannot write it. This is mandatory to show this in the exam. Otherwise you lose marks. And concept will be meaningless. 3 theta is equal to cos inverse 4x cube minus 3x. And 3 cos inverse x is equal to cos inverse 4x cube minus 3x. Yes. Let us see few NCERT textbook problems. Textbook problems for your board exam. NCERT text. Then we will see multiple choice questions, more deeper questions in the next class. Now let us continue. By substitution, take NCERT text questions, few problems. This is class PUC2 maths. Simplify. Tan inverse root of 1 plus x square minus 1 upon x. X is not equal to 0. X is not equal to 0. Now try to prove this. You can simplify it by writing it as a put. Whenever there is root of 1 plus x square, best substitution is put x is equal to tan theta. Assume that restrictions hold good, and that implies theta can be written as tan inverse x. Provided x belongs to the real number and is not equal to 0, and theta lies between minus pi by 2 to less than theta. Theta is less than pi by 2. These restrictions are understood. Now you can write it as a tan inverse root of 1 plus tan square theta. 1 plus tan square theta minus 1 divided by tan theta. Tan theta. Because you substituted x is equal to tan theta. Now what you can get is tan inverse. What is root of 1 plus tan square theta? Check the identity. You will get sec theta minus 1 divided by tan theta. Now let us simplify this. Right? You will get now tan inverse. What is sec theta? Write sec theta in terms of sin and cos. You will get 1 by cos theta minus 1 divided by tan theta is sin theta divided by cos theta. Now take the LCM in the numerator. LCM will be cos theta. You can write cos theta into 1 and 1 into cos theta. Right? You will get 1 minus cos theta divided by sin theta upon cos theta. Sin theta upon cos theta cancels. What do you get now? Tan inverse. You are left with 1 minus cos theta upon sin theta. Now you need to have expression 1 minus cos theta upon sin theta. Any doubts up to this stage? Now, this particular problem is based on the substitution. Last period we started method of substitution. Whenever you get root of 1 plus x square, best identity is you have to put x is equal to tan theta. Then you get theta is equal to tan inverse x. And the restrictions are hold good. Tan inverse of 1 plus tan square theta, wherever there is x you put here. Root of 1 plus tan square theta is sec theta minus 1. X is tan theta. Sec theta is written as 1 upon cos theta. Tan theta is sin theta upon cos theta. Take LCM. Cos theta cancels. Now what is your next step? Next step again depends on your knowledge of first year trigonometry. Tan inverse. Therefore, I asked you to join half angle formula. What is 1 minus cos theta? 1 minus cos theta. Check. Is it not a 2 sin square theta by 2? I have listed all of them in the beginning. And sin theta, half angle formula. 2 sin theta by 2 into cos theta by 2. Okay. Sin theta by 2 cancels. 2 also cancels. Now what you are left with? Very interesting. You will get a tan inverse. Sin theta by 2 upon cos theta by 2 will be equal to tan theta by 2. I hope you are getting me. Tan theta by 2. Tan inverse of tan theta by 2 is theta by 2. Now are you getting me? What is your assumption of theta? Yes, you assume that x is equal to tan theta. If the restrictions hold good, theta is equal to what? Tan inverse x. Therefore, you can write it as 1 by 2 theta is tan inverse x. This is the simplified form of the given problem. See, what is the value of trigonometry you studied in the first PU? The trigonometry you studied in the first PU is going to help you here. Any doubts? Are you listening me? Is it audible? No responses? Deepthi? Any doubts? You can talk in the chat box. If you have got any doubts, you can type in the chat box and clarify the doubts. It is a live class. You cannot keep quiet. Just communicate. Try to answer. Okay. Today I was late by some 10-15 minutes. We'll cover, we'll take extra classes and you can send your doubts in the WhatsApp group. If you cannot comment here, okay. Take another problem. In the NCERT text I will solve. Now the problem is like this. Simplify. Another question here. Tan inverse, you are given that root of 1 minus cos x, root of 1 minus cos x divided by 1 plus cos x. They have given the restriction here. X lies between 0 is less than x is less than pi. X is less than pi. Now the question is, what is your substitution? Then x lies between 0 to pi. What is tan pi is? X is 0 is less than x is less than pi. Now, what is your substitution? Substitution you don't want, you just recall half angle formula. Tan inverse, x is the angle here, root of, what is 1 minus cos x is? 2 sin square x by 2. I think you are written TSR. Write them as time saving results. Just now we proved Note down the time saving result for competitive exams. What is the final answer of 1 minus cos theta upon sin theta? Remember it as a time saving result. Just now we got, yes, what is 1 minus cos theta? Is a 2 sin square theta by 2. 2 sin theta means tan theta by 2. Remember them. Tan theta by 2. Here also, what is the root of 1 minus cos x is 2 sin square x by 2. 1 plus cos x is 2 cos square x by 2. And you can take the value as a tan inverse. 2 cancels. You will get here root of tan square x by 2. Tan square x by 2. Now, if you divide it by 2 now, for x restriction is 0 to pi. For x by 2, restriction will be, observe, tan inverse. What is the square root of positive square root if I take? I will get tan x by 2. Remember another identity, TSR, collect them, note down in your book next time. Whenever you come across 1 minus cos theta upon 1 plus cos theta, you can directly write it as tan theta by 2. Here tan x by 2. Now for tan inverse of tan x is equal to x by 2, provided it lies in the limit. So divide throughout by this particular expression, divide by 2. What do you get here? 0 is less than x by 2. X by 2 is less than pi by 2. In which quadrant it comes? 0 to pi by 2 comes in the first quadrant. Means your tan inverse lies between what? X lies between 0 to pi by 2. Means positive value, you can write it as x by 2. Right? And as 0 to pi, x by 2, that is equal to 1 by 2. What is your assumption of x is? What is x is? Tan x by 2 will be the answer. Correct. This is a simplified form of it. X by 2. Angle is taken in the x only. Don't take theta. I hope you understood how to solve such questions. Okay, I think you are getting late now. Sorry, I was a little bit late today. Next period we will meet tomorrow. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow we will continue with chemistry. The chapter already started. Solutions we will continue. Till then, bye-bye. See you. I hope you are getting late to the college. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye-bye.